in terms of Marquise, how does his personality really fit in and play into the culture of the team?
As far as what?
Marquise.
Steph?
Yes, Steph. How does his personality fit in and play into the culture of the team?
I think he does a really good job, and he's, I think if you ask a lot of guys, especially off the field, he's one of the better friends on the team. And so, obviously, I think the guys like him. He smiles a lot. I think he's probably a jokester. I just don't hear it all the time. He kind of does it under his breath. And so, I think he keeps the team light, and he's good for the team in that sense. And like I said, he's a guy that everyone seems to really like, and you need guys like that on your team.
And how has he gone from having limited carries at the beginning of the season to really becoming this reliable back in the most recent games?
I think what he did the best was just started understanding his job, doing his job really well, and taking care of the football. And I think that's, coming out of fall camp was our biggest emphasis with him is, one, you got no pass protections, and two, you got to take care of the football. And he improved in both of those, and because of that, obviously his role increased, and then he became a guy that we could trust a lot more. And in this offense, I think in any offense, that's the key, is being someone that we can trust every down to do your job, and that's what he really improved on and did a heck of a job with.
Thanks so much.
Not a problem.
Clay and Mike Jinks said they can't run Division III running backs in a week. What do you make of the situation? What's your confidence level going forward?
Yeah, like I said, since I've been here, we got a lot of special guys, and I'm really confident in all of them. And we got to find a way to put everyone in position to be successful and do what fits them best. And that's what we'll do. And like I said, it's a weird situation, and one, with quarterbacks and running backs that I haven't really been in much, but again, we'll figure it out. And it's a special crew, and the key is just to do things right. And if we can get them to play hard, believe in each other, and just play the right way, you have a chance with the guys we got out there.
You knew Keenan was really fast, obviously, but what did he show you the other night beyond that?
Beyond that, I mean, he's fast, so, that was fun to see. The key for Keenan is just to get him in the open field, and when he's in the open field, he's special, and it brings a gear that you don't really see. And so if we can get him in those situations, he's really special with the ball. And so we'll have to continue to find ways to, like I said, try to get him in the open field and allow him to make plays. But it was good to see the other night, like I said, someone get there and then just have a gear that people haven't seen, and then be able to take one, or take a couple all the way. So that was good to see. And again, obviously we'll have to rely a lot more on him, and hopefully he can continue to do that.
What's the first thing you said after you called the 55-yard TD run? What kind of conversation happens in the press box?
There we just kind of sat there, me and John David. I think Coach Jinks was more excited than anyone, but that's probably a better question for him, because up top, obviously we're excited, and that was a good play. But we couldn't get much in because Jinks was yelling over the headset and no one could hear anything. So
Drew Richmond's played against Mel Tucker defenses before. Any insight from him going into the game plan for this one?
No, I think Drew's done a heck of a job, and his experience has shown, going not necessarily schematically against people, but just going against the talent that he's gone against in his career. I think it's allowed him to come in here and transition as quickly as he's transitioned, because he didn't get into school till almost August, so we didn't get him in the summer as early as we would have liked to have got him in here. So again, going against some of those special defenses and playing against some special players, I think really helped him transition into the offense and have as much success as he's been able to have. As far as schematically, we haven't asked him much, but he's a great kid, and we couldn't be more fortunate to have him over, that's for sure.
How much can Keenan handle?
Keenan?
Yeah.
He threw me off. I don't know if he Keaton or Keaton, but I think they both can handle a lot. But Keenan's going to have to handle a lot, and obviously, hopefully, he's still young and doesn't weigh a ton, and so we got to keep him healthy. But and when you're limited back there, you got to go till you can't go, and we're really confident. That's the thing. Like I said before, all these guys kind of went down was, what Keenan's really shown over the fall, and since he's been here, that I've been impressed by is he's not just a guy that has to get on the edge and run fast. He's done especially if you watch him in inside, is where he's gotten a lot of reps, and that's a drill to run between the tackles, and there's going to have more people than you have, and so you're going to have to make some physical runs, and that's what he's really done a great job, like I said, I mean, obviously he's fast, especially with the ball. But what I didn't know coming in was how physical he'd be and how tough he'd be if he wanted to run between those tackles. And I think getting as many reps as he's gotten inside this year, he's shown that a lot, and that's been good to see. And then he's also a kid that has shown to be physical in pass protection. And again, something when you watch his highlight video, and a lot of guys that are track stars, you're like, man, they're fast and they're great with the ball in their hand. Are they willing to go be physical? And that's something that he's shown throughout the fall that is something you didn't know. I think us coming in was probably a question mark about him was, will he do that? And he's been great about it. And I think, in fall camp, seeing as many blitzes we saw against our own defense was really good for him because it forced him to go put his face on some guys that are pretty big. We got some big, stout, strong linebackers that'll come through there. And so seeing that and having to do that, I think obviously helped him grow up and will help him moving forward in pass protection. And so we're confident in what he can do. Like I said, he showed some flashes the other night. He's going to have to do it on a more every down basis going forward. But he is a smart kid. He obviously has some abilities, and he's shown a lot of toughness throughout fall. And so whether he wants to or not, he's going to have to do a lot and handle a lot.
Who comes in for Munir?
I don't know. We'll figure that out. But we're pretty beat up, obviously. But Munir, I hated to see it because he's such a great kid. He's an unbelievable guy. Works really hard. So to see him go down hurts your heart for him. But now we're really we'll just have to kind of scramble it around if TV needs a shot or something. And that's the thing we're fortunate about is TV can run forever, and so that obviously helps. But I think if we had to get him out, we'd probably move Amon-Ra outside and bring in someone else inside. That's because we've just had more people get reps on the inside. You know what I'm saying? And so, or in practice at least, and more people probably know the inside positions than the outside positions. And so we'll probably at times have to move Amon-Ra outside and bring in a guy that's gotten reps. A JJ or whoever. JJ's gotten quite a few reps on the inside throughout the season, but bring JJ in inside and move Amon-Ra outside or stuff like that. We'll kind of have to piece it together now that you're not too deep everywhere.
If you're Saturday, do you find yourself the last day and a half thinking, how do we get Keenan in space? How do I get him the ball in space? Do you say,
yeah.
Is there something else I can do here?
I think that's always, especially in game planning, and that's the beauty of this offense. I think is we're going to do what we do for the most part. You're not going to see a new playbook every week, and we're going to do tweaks, and we're going to try to put tags on that we feel like puts us in a position to be successful against whatever defense does. But really in game planning, what we're trying to figure out is how to get our ball carriers the ball in space. Whether it's throw a receiver a screen or somehow get a running back on the perimeter, or obviously like the other night when we were running the power to Keenan, we knew if we could get it blocked up right, we could put him on a safety, and that's a tough task for a safety with someone with that kind of speed. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we do really in game plan all the time. But you try to make it fit who you have, And so obviously when you've had Vi and Keys, that's going to be a different skill set than Keenan. And so we've got to figure out what's the best way to get Keenan in space and what's the best way to get him the ball and create space for him. Because as you can see, if you can create space for him, he's really special with the ball in his hand.
Let's go one more. Keegan held himself accountable for lack of rhythm in the passing game last weekend. What are a couple of things that you feel like he could do better against Colorado?
I just think he was off, and that's what I've talked about since I've been here. That's why I think it's important for us to run the football, is because as a quarterback, it's hard to be on every night. It really, at any position, it's hard to be on every night. It's just when you're the quarterback, everyone sees it a lot more, because every play you got the ball in your hand. And so if you're having just a little bit of an off night, the whole world sees it, where if other guys are having a little bit of an off night, you might be able to get away with it or not be seen quite as much. And so that's why I think running the ball is important, is because if you ever have a night where your quarterback's struggling a little bit, you can help him settle in and you can take some pressure off of him if he can run the football successfully. So, I think that's kind of what we had to do, and we did that. But more than anything, I think Keaton was overthinking, and that's something we fought with JT in the spring quite, or not fought with, but had to work with him on quite a bit, was overanalyzing everything, and just do your job and go through your reads. And that's what I tell them all the time. That's what I tell all of them. And it's natural. I think anytime that you've been in the offense, and Coach Leach used to always get on me about the same sort of deal was, you know, you try to do too much. You want, you know, I can do this and this and that. Usually what we got called is going to work all right, and if you just see something that you can attack, go attack it, you know what I mean? But you don't ever want to slow down and just try to analyze every single person and figure out how can I do this. If you're doing that, you're overthinking, you're probably killing your own tempo.